Damn, I wish I invested. After recent skyrockets of the Gamestop stock value, we thought it would be a good idea to take a look at the bigger picture and see if we can't find a reason for this fiscal season. I'm sorry. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm Connor Monroe and this is the Top 10 Scary GameStop Theories. Let's do it. Number 10, Scam. This isn't really a theory about their stock or anything having to do with Wall Street. This theory is actually having to do with their used game prices. Yes, anyone who knows GameStop likely knows the meme of selling a basically new game for around 10 cents or $1 if you're lucky. But honestly, this is fairly true, especially if you're selling older games that aren't vintage. Hell, sometimes they won't even take vintage games and you'll need to go to a specialty gaming store to sell those off. So why does GameStop buy so low but then sell at an extreme markup? Some think that it's just because they're scamming you. Some games can be worth a good amount of money, but by going to GameStop you're indicating that you don't really know. And to add insult to injury, they give you in-store credit rather than actual money, so you're stuck spending it there. So honestly, if you're thinking of selling some of your games, hop online and see what they're actually worth before going in, plus head to like a game store that isn't a part of a franchise, you know, like an old mom and pop shop, but not a mom and pop shop, because, you know, parents. They may give you more bang for your buck, or I guess more buck for your bang? No, that sounds even worse. In a 9, Demolition. The reason that you clicked on this video is most likely that you saw the stock market value increase by over 300% at the time of this being written, and you're looking for any way to get in on it or at least something similar. Well, how about the theory that this will destroy the middle class? Sure, the stocks were going up, but now they're going back down, and GameStop was planning to file for bankruptcy and be done with everything. But then r/Wall Street Bets came in clutch. But why does this matter? Because even if their stock price increased, it will go back down, and it will continue to go down. And when it does, the rich will be fine and will be able to get bailed out because, you know, they're rich, whereas the middle class will lose all their investments. I don't know anything about the stock market aside from that if Elon Musk tweets about it, the stock value goes up, so don't take this as any financial advice, but this still makes sense to me, which brings us to our next point. And at number 8, cash out. In 2019, GameStop lost around $795 million, which means that their shareholders didn't make much money, if any, off their payback for that year. And while yes, the stock value is increasing, we're still in the middle of a pandemic where we can't go into stores. And GameStop, along with its Canadian version EB Games, are mostly in mall stores or based in malls. While they do have online stores, most online stores are being beaten out by things like Amazon, or just Amazon, honestly. So this probably won't last long, especially if the Redditors and individual investors don't hold their ground and keep their shares. And if things open up again and GameStop is back to giving crappy deals for unopened games, their value will drop once again. So maybe holding your ground isn't the best decision in this regard, but then again, it's just a theory, an economy theory. Buy Dogecoin. And it's 7, PS5 blowout. The hype for the PS5 was undeniable, so much so that the EB Games and GameStop websites crashed. But was this really just an oversight, or was it something intentional that would make us want it even more? Many have speculated that this was intentional on the part of GameStop to ensure the hype for the PS5 remained, and that GameStop never really sold out, they just limited the number that they were allowed to sell in each store, but had way more stock. No pun intended at this point. Others are even suggesting that PlayStation paid for this to be their treatment, to ensure their victory in the console wars this time around. And it seems to have worked and is even still working now. They knew the hype for the PS5 was big, so why didn't they plan for that with their website? Because they knew it would turn out the way it did. They wanted it to happen, so that the hype would remain longer and PlayStation would do better in the long term. And at 6, bankrupt. Psych! What if the company wasn't really going bankrupt? It's entirely plausible that this was just an effort to get more sales from customers, or it was used as a reason to get people to rally behind a Reddit post to increase the company's stock value. This could all be a plot by GameStop to get their value back up and make more money in the long run. I, for example, totally forgot about ordering pop figures off the EB Games store, and now I have reminders set to pre-order the upcoming Pokemon Pops releasing in March and May of this year, which I also forgot existed for a hot minute if I'm being totally honest, even though I'm obsessed with pop figures, especially the Pokemon ones. So their whole bankruptcy thing could be just totally fake. However, I'm going to put a disclaimer that this is just a theory and not confirmed fact. So don't take this as me taking a jab at or accusing GameStop, EB Games, or any other related or affiliated company of anything. This is just an idea that could make sense in the right circumstances. Plus, technically it's true on one Earth if you subscribe to the many worlds theory. So, maybe that's this universe. Also, in one universe, it's true in every other single universe, and in one universe, it's true that it's not true in any universe. So, halfway through, number 5, Elon Musk. Elon Musk isn't really the kind of guy to throw things around willy-nilly. He seems like a corporate man, but in all honesty, he seems like a decent guy to me. He has several secret projects or companies that give millions, if not billions, to charity each year, and he's still currently the world's richest man, even when he's doing that. But what does he have to do with this? Well, he's the one who got the term Gamestonk trending yesterday, which I'm sure you saw a video on because you're subscribed and watch on a regular basis, just like the majority of that community post, right? Well, if you don't know, after the post on Reddit, Elon tweeted out the link to the post on Reddit, captioning it Gamestonk. And that's it, 2 exclamation points. However, why would he do this? He has enough money. But what if it's to help us? To get us to make more money? To show us to rally together to increase the value of GameStop to make game stonks? It would make sense given his character, and he is a man of the people, wanting to help them make more money than himself. Well, I guess help them make more money and himself. So maybe this was all just because he wanted to help. He could have posted the original suggestion on Reddit, for God's sakes. Or he could also be a majority shareholder in GameStop. And at 4, class action. What if this boost to the GameStop stock was only a means to an end? A way to get Robinhood to start doing shady things so a class action lawsuit could be filed. For those of you who don't know, Robinhood is a US app that aids in stock market trading, typically for individuals who are new. However, after GameStop's stock value skyrocketed, Robinhood started blocking the ability to purchase new shares, and even hid stock like GameStop, abbreviated to GME, BlackBerry, abbreviated to BB, and others like AMC, NOK, and NAKD, which is messed up and honestly illegal from my understanding. One of their first tweets was even let the people trade, and now they're not. Twitter user @socialact suggested that Robinhood was told to stop selling to retail, which is the consumers, by Daddy, assuming it's Citadel, and in exchange they would be bought for a large sum by beneficiaries. They make a point to say that this is conjecture and not confirmed, but it is also a likely scenario, so maybe that was the goal, to get Robinhood to screw up and get them thrown in prison, or maybe for all the apps doing shady things, since it seems that Webull is doing something similar. Getting close to the end, and at number 3, banned. With the spike of the GameStop stock value recently, the subreddit that started it, a Reddit community known as r/Wall Street Bets, this is now triggering all of the companies and media companies that are really set on helping Wall Street and the quote-unquote hedge fund babies of the corporate world, if I'm quoting a tweet. But is this an issue? Well, it depends on what the government will think. This can happen, it has been happening, and probably will happen again. But this literally saved a company from bankruptcy. And with all the anger from the 1%, people are theorizing that the government will step in and prevent communities like r/Wall Street Bets from existing to begin with, to stop the manipulation of the stock market like this. However, if they were to do that, they would also need to find companies like Robinhood, the US stock market app, because, they're currently preventing the buying of specific shares. It's manipulating the stock market too. That's what they're doing. Also, they're doing that, and that app requires your social security number to function. Like, you need to give them your SSN to be able to do the trading, but then they start doing illegal shit. That's insane. What do you think the government will do? Let us know in the comments, but be respectful. No need for hate. From my understanding, they're kind of doing both, but I don't know. And at 2, corporate mods. The mod at the r/Wall Street Bets subreddit could be swimming in it right now. If you don't know, a mod is a term used for moderators of a subreddit or other things like live streams and more, but on a subreddit they do things like go over posts, make sure nothing sketchy is going on, and try to keep the community a safe place for all. But what if the mod on r/Wall Street Bets is in it for something more than just a safe community? What if they're in on it for a profit? It could very well be that the mods found some way to push these posts both for boosting the GameStop stock and others so that they can make a profit on the stock as well. I mean, it's not really bad when you think about it, but considering how they're the ones who control the subreddit in essence, that's kind of scary. Maybe they already had invested and wanted to save their skin, or maybe they were also looking at the new Tesla model. Finally, in number 1, insider trading. While this is outsider trading and not illegal, is it possible for this to become something more? Perhaps so. Now, I'm no lawyer, so don't take this as any legal advice of any kind, and don't come for me in the comments, okay? Just chill and hear out a nice theory. Reddit is an anonymous community, with usernames hiding our true identities and the sanctity of the internet protecting our faces. But the stock market is different. You need to provide your identity. This is to prevent things like insider trading, where an individual gets a tip from someone at a company about an upcoming announcement or something that will increase their stock value, and the individual receiving the information acts on it, buying stock in that company before the announcement. This can be anything from a new patent to a new product or whatever, really. So, was one of these anonymous people doing this to avoid getting screwed because they got an insider tip? Since everyone is doing it because of the Reddit thread, it's possible and honestly pretty smart. They could still prove insider trading, I'm sure, but with the help of the Reddit thread, it could be much more difficult to do so. And it may not even have been the OP that was the one who hit the info. It could have been someone who ended up, let's say, fanning the flame. I don't know. I'm not saying anything is concrete. It is, after all, a theory. Or maybe more of a hypothesis. I'm not sure. I'm just saying it could be a thing. There we have it, friends, the top 10 scary GameStop theories. Thank you all so much for watching and for sticking around until the end. I know this is a weird list, don't worry. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.